The gate was crying out again, iron scraping against iron like it was desperate for attention. I heard it every morning when Mrs. Holloway headed out, and every evening when she came back home. But today, the awful screech was followed by her voice. "Hey, Mark, you got a minute?" I looked up from my front steps. There she stood, my older neighbor, silver curls going every direction, wearing the kindest smile on the block. One arm held a grocery bag, the other fought with the busted latch. "It's definitely worse," I said, shaking my head. "That's why I need a hero," she teased with a wink. "Come rescue an old woman." I laughed, grabbed my toolbox and walked over. Helping her never felt like work. She'd lived alone ever since her husband passed, and even though we weren't family, she always treated me like I was. The hinge was barely hanging on, clinging to one rusted screw. Honestly, it was shocking the gate hadn't collapsed already. "You go through this gate every single day," I said, shaking my head. "I know," she replied, "but every time it screeches, I tell myself if it survives today, I'll fix it tomorrow." She smiled softly. "Looks like tomorrow finally showed up." I tightened bolts, swapped out screws, scraped away rust. While I worked, she talked about her errands, her flowers, how the neighborhood felt emptier since her husband died. Her voice cracked once or twice, but she masked it with humor every time. 30 minutes later, the gate opened smoothly, silently. She gasped. "It hasn't been that quiet since the 80s. I started putting my tools away when she raised a hand. "Wait," she said, "you deserve a little extra reward." I froze. That sentence could have gone somewhere very uncomfortable. But instead, she reached into her grocery bag and pulled out a small bakery box tied with ribbon. "Cinnamon rolls," she said, "from that place you mentioned last week." I blinked. "I didn't do that." "I did," she insisted, "because people like you remind me kindness still exists, and kindness should be fed." We both laughed. Then she added quietly, "I haven't had anyone help me without wanting something back in a very long time." That settled heavy in my chest. Standing beside the now silent gate, she sighed. "You know, when my husband was alive, he fixed everything. Gates, leaky taps, even my bad days." She paused. "When he died, the house didn't just get quiet. I did too." I swallowed. I know what lonely feels like, probably more than I let on. She looked at me with that calm, knowing gaze only older souls seem to have. "Well," she said, patting my arm, "maybe loneliness is just life nudging us to reach out." That hit harder than I expected. Before she left, she asked if I'd stay for tea. I said yes. She brought out old floral cups, and we sat at her small wooden table, two people from different generations sharing cinnamon rolls like old friends. As she talked about memories, heartbreak, and laughter, something clicked. The gate wasn't the real thing that needed fixing. She wasn't asking for help with metal or screws. She was asking for connection. And without realizing it, I had been too. When I stood to leave, she hugged me tightly. "You didn't just fix my gate," she whispered. "You opened it again." My throat tightened. A few days later, we fell into a rhythm. Morning coffee on our porch, quick evening check-ins. Sometimes she cooked, sometimes I brought food. Neighbors noticed. Even someone said, "It's nice seeing life in her house again." What they didn't know was she brought life back into mine, too. A simple favor, a broken gate, a toolbox, a moment of connection. It turned two lonely homes into two people who didn't feel alone anymore. And the truth warmed my heart like sunlight. Sometimes the smallest repair leads to the deepest healing. Sometimes the real reward isn't what you're given, it's who you gain. If this story moved you, please like and subscribe for more emotional, real-life stories like this. Comment below and tell us, where are you watching from and what did this story mean to you? Please share this video with someone who believes small kindness still matters. Once again, like, subscribe, and comment. Your support keeps these stories alive.